My mind is made up. I'm on my way up. Gotta hold my head up. Going on with the Lord. Yes. Thank you, Denise Batford Clark. If I said her middle name, her married name right. Um, I know them as Jackie, Dorinda, Karen, Denise, and Twinkie as the Clark sisters. I know them all by Clark, last name Clark. So I just wanted to actually come on here. I got like 15 minutes left before I end up going back to work. And a lot of people has been hitting me up saying, like, 4 years ago I did a video about what happened to Denise Clark from the Clark sisters, and finally after 4 years we all got the interview that we wanted. We all got what we actually wanted to hear. Anybody that is our Clark sister, our Clark fan, y'all know what I mean. We wanted this. It's raining, so I just cut the blades off, windshield wipers off. Okay, so if everything that Denise has stated, and first I want to shout out, please click thumbs up, like it, strive it, share it. Please, we want this out here. But I want to thank the guy, young name guy. I can't think of his name right now, but the guy that actually did the interview. I've been asking for years for someone to do an interview. All these gospel concerts, all of these gospel programs, all of these gospel TV shows, no one never wanted to go out mainstream, go out and actually talk to her about, what really happened, what's really on her side of the story. And we finally got it. If everything that she said is true, I let me first say this: I am a Clark fan. I has always been a Clark fan. Like I said in my video 4 years ago, I have always been a Clark fan. I always have been a Clark sister fan. I'm a diehard Church of God in Christ. That's who I am. I love it. I'm never going to say anything bad about the Clark sisters or about any of them, because they are a legend. They are history. They are part of our time era when it comes to gospel music. When you think of Supremes and Destiny Child, all of them. Clark sisters. They are all in that same area. And I thank God for being able to be a part of the Church of God in Christ, but also be able to live to see this come forward. Now, if everything Denise said is true, Dorinda, you my girl. I look at you differently now. Karen, I'm not a 100%. I'm a Karen fan. I'm a Clark sister fan. I do love your music, and you are gifted, but you're not one of my favorite Clark sisters singers. It will be Twinkie and it will be Dorinda. That's just my opinion. But I do look at Karen. I look at Dorinda a little differently now. I don't really look too bad at Twinkie because I think Twinkie is the peacemaker. She's not going to be the one that's going to go on sides. I don't think that. But I do look at Jackie completely different. First of all, Jackie, you can't really even sing like that. Me and you got the same thing in common. We can sing back up. But you're not a Clark sister singer. You don't have that Clark sister voice. You are the little chubby girl that grew up with the Clark sister, with your sisters, and you just in the group. I mean, anybody would have put your little sunshine band group together. My mama would have made all of us sing. Even if we couldn't sing, we would have sung. So, Jackie, I believe that you really did do the stuff that she's saying. Only reason why is because I am familiar with similar to this stuff because it happened in my own family. Once when people die or getting ready to die, there's always one that's going to jump up. The thing about being a nurse I have always wondered, why don't you work at a hospital if you are a registered nurse? Don't get me wrong, the Clark sisters make millions of dollars, but I just don't really see Jackie making millions of dollars. I mean, she make money off of the brand Clark sisters, but not like independent, because Dorinda got all the stuff got going on of herself. That she make a lot of her money that don't come from the Clark sisters. Karen, same thing too. Her husband is a bishop, Church of God Christ, which will be presiding bishop in the future, and he said that was right. So I just want to just everybody been asking me, to commentate, to talk about this, and I am going to talk about it. I think it's a crying out shame that people act like this, and I believe Denise. I actually believe her. I believe that they have. I believe that. I really, 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 really believe that. So I just wanted to just touch on this. Later on this afternoon, I'm going to do a real big video about this to go into all details. I just really wanted to just, get it in point right now that we all are members of the Church of God in Christ, the ones that are, and I feel that this stuff should not happen. We are all saved by grace. Now, one of the things that I wanted to say was, sorry about that. One of the things I wanted to check the time. One of the things I wanted to say was, I know they wasn't tripping about anybody having any kids out of wedlock. Because Karen, I'm gonna start with you. Your son have 2 babies out of wedlock. He smoked weed. He drank Patron and alcohol and tequila. He go to clubs, R&B clubs. And I'm not saying this is true. The word on the street in the Church of God in Christ that he messed around guys too. That's the word. I'm not saying I said that. I'm not saying I am the one. I'm not saying that. I'm saying allegedly that he messed with more than just one sex. Do I believe it? Yeah, I do. Church of God in Christ. I do believe it. Second thing is that your son have 2 kids out of wedlock. You publicly did this stuff on national TV when you had your little show. And you really want to talk about Denise? What's so different? She just like me and you, sinned and fell short of glory. I sin every day. I ask God to forgive me, but I'm not perfect. So, for you, I hope and pray, Karen Clark Shears, that you do not have that personality. I really pray that you do not have that personality. We have all looked up to you. Everybody. All looked up to you. That every gospel artist, every R&B artist, has mimicking you. They love your voice, your range, your 3-part harmony, and that's what the Clark sisters made. That is what Dr. Maddie Moss has designed, 3-part harmony. Everybody know that. If you hear 3-part harmony, if it came back in the days in the 60s, it come from Dr. Maddie Moss Clark, because she brought that to us. So Karen, if I hope and pray that you're not that shallow to say, okay, whatever. And by the way, we all are Christians, and you are a bishop wife. We should have forgiveness in our heart. We should have letting go of some things in our heart. I'm not perfect. I'm still hold on to things. But when it comes to sharing my wealth with my family that has started the group, that's a problem. That's a real big problem. Now, I'm going to move on. I'm going to come back to you later. But I'm going to move on and go on to Dorinda. Dorinda, you are my favorite Clark sister. And I when you came to our church, Resurrection Power Church of God in Christ in Columbus, Ohio, when my mom was living, we got the chance to see you up close, hugged you. So nice. But let me tell you something. You don't fool me. I know how church ladies are. I was married to one. I know, and my mother is one. I know how church women are. And I know how they can be very hypocritical and very judgmental. So I hope and pray you, of all people, because if you look on your daughter's Instagram, she hangs out with all the hood niggas in Atlanta, Georgia. She hangs out with all the hood people in Detroit. Nothing about her page say, I love the Lord. And all of it says, I'm out kicking it. Don't get me wrong. So let's not talk about that. Jackie, I believe everything that Denise said about you. I can see it and I can feel it. And baby, I got a discernment spirit too as well. I can pick up things and I can feel things. And I really believe that you are not that nasty. I believe you are that nasty. I believe that you are a manipulator. You want to manipulate your sisters and your nieces and nephews, including your own children, not to speak to this lady. She is the oldest of Dr. Maddie Moss and her husband. You're not. You and your brother came up from somewhere else and joined the family when your mother married Dr. Clark. Reverend Clark. That's not your father. And I do believe something that Denise said. I do feel something that Denise said. How can you be all up in talking about her father and you didn't like the man? I believe you didn't like the man. I believe that because you didn't have you didn't have your regular father in your life. You had Pastor Clark in your life and you took his last name. Wow. I will never take a man last name if I felt that way about them and you wait till they die to actually, oh, I want to be all caring. I don't believe any of that bullshit. And I'm sorry. I'm going to say that because I do believe that you are a manipulator and I do believe that you start a lot of mess and you start confusion in that family, keeping them because you're the oldest, of Dr. Maddie Moss. You are the oldest. Of Dr. Maddie Moss, you're the oldest. But of Dr. Maddie Moss Clark and her husband, you're not the oldest. You're the step sister. And to be honest with you, you did not get any of your singing from nobody. Because if you was Dr. Clark's daughter, Pastor Clark's daughter, you probably would have been sounding like Karen, Dorinda, and Twinkie, and Denise. But you don't. You don't even see your own oldest brother affiliated with any of this mess because it's a bunch of bull crap. Church people are the worst people in the world. I hate to say that. My mother taught me before she died, get to know God for yourself because you never know when you might need him. Don't go off listening to what everybody got to say and what everybody have to say about this and what everybody have to say about that. Don't worry about that stuff. Get to know God for yourself. And Jackie, I am really disappointed because you don't have any money. You don't have nowhere near the money of them. So allegedly, I'm saying allegedly because I don't know your checking account. But I do know what Google say, and Google can be wrong. So I just think that you're trying to come up. Now, Twinkie, I really don't have nothing to say to Twinkie because I believe Twinkie is doing what God said to do, and that is to keep her mouth shut. So Twinkie, I respect you for that, and I respect you for being a peacemaker and not being biased and being on both sides, loving your sister and loving your other sisters too. And I thank you, Twinkie, for being the only Clark sister that say, I'm going to love my sister. I'm going to be there for my sister, regardless of what y'all say. When Denise said that they were walking down the stairs and she was coming down the stairs and they said, I don't want to touch her. That's not God. All these years, I thought Dr. Maddie Moss Clark did kick you out the group, Denise. I really did. And this cleared this up because they made it seem like that's what Dr. Maddie Moss Clark did. Kick you out, just throw you out of the group. I don't know if you still get royalties, which I'm pretty sure you do. But I can see them trying to stop you. But see, they can't stop you from being around your mother. And that is where I respect you at. Regardless of what y'all say, you're not going to stop me from being around my mother. You can say what you want to say. I'm going to be around. And your mother still loved you all the way up until the day she died. You was there. You the only Clark that spoke at that funeral that we see that we saw in the videos. I don't know if anybody else did. I wasn't there at the funeral. However, I thank God that Denise finally came to the truth. Now, let's get to this Lifetime movie thing, and I'm getting ready to go because I got to get back to work. I got 2 minutes. Queen Latifah, Mary J. Blige, and Missy Elliott. You all three are wrong for not involving that woman into that movie. That is her family that she founded. No one can tell the story. She can tell the story. Y'all can't tell the story because y'all three don't know nothing about what goes on in the Clark family. So with that being said, Denise should have been a part of that movie. Lifetime, I'm very, very, very disappointed, Lifetime, that you all are doing a movie and throwing this girl away. This is the same thing the Supreme did to Florida Ballot. This is the same thing Destiny Child did to Farrah, whatever the name is. This is the same thing that all these groups are doing. They get all big and high and mighty. They want to kick people out the groups and don't want to tell the story. That's wrong. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself for actually going forward with the movie and not involving this woman in this movie. She has the right to be a part of this Lifetime movie. She is original Clark sister. She was singing way before Karen was. She was singing way before Dorinda was. Her and Twinkie and Jackie was singing all together at first. If you go back and look at all of these videos and all of these shows, you will see in all these albums, you will hear a lot from Dorinda, from Denise. You hear a lot from Denise. You hear a lot of her songs and a lot of her singing from Denise Clark. You won't hear a lot of them. You won't hear them until you brought the sunshine. That's when you start hearing Karen and hear the rest of them. I may be wrong. I don't know. But I believe that's when you start hearing Karen and Dorinda. So I just feel that it's wrong what happened. I respect the fact that it's a movie being done. I don't respect the fact that y'all leaving her out of it. The movie should be done way long ago. Because you can't talk about Dr. Manny Moss Clark and not talk about Denise Clark. You can't talk about Albert Clark and not talk about Denise Clark. You can't talk about Twinkie, Jackie, Dorinda, or Karen without talking about Denise Clark. Get it? Denise Clark is our Clark sister. So, with that being said, I got to get back to work, but I will make another video where I'm sitting more down and more comfortable. Thank you very much. Please like, share, subscribe, send it all over the world. I'm glad we finally got what we needed. Thank you. Goodbye.